To day 4 of the Content Creation Masterclass. This has to be my most favorite day of the whole entire class. This one is all about Canva. This is my go-to tool. I'm in Canva at least, 4 to 5 hours a day. This is where I create everything from my social media post to Facebook, Instagram, where I actually do all of my graphics for my video content. I create logos in Canva. You can actually create GIFs and little movies in Canva as well. So I'm going to teach you all you need to know about Canva to at least get you started with creating your own graphics. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial of Canva so that you can see exactly what it is on a live screen to look at. This is my Canva account, and you can see I've got a lot of different things on here, from posters to social media posts, etc. You can organize your folders by clients or by projects here on the left-hand side. So if I need to find something really quickly, I can bed down into one of these particular folders. I can also go up into the search function if I remember what it's called. Let's say I put something in regards to Instagram. I can go up here and it will actually find me results that have the word Instagram in it. There's a lot of different templates that you can use. So if you click on the More button, this will bring up everything that you can use within Canva. So you've got everything from social media, and it always will bring up the ones that you use often so that you can quickly click on those templates. You also have documents, things for blogging, marketing materials from logos to gift certificates, labels, social media emails and headers, all the way down to ads for Facebook as well. So the one thing that I will say, that when using the templates, double check that the template that you're using, and you'll see at the bottom as to what the specifications are, that they are the actual 2018 specifications. I've found sometimes when I've been doing a Facebook event cover that these specifications are actually outdated. So that's something that I would get you to double check before you use them. So we're going to dive in, and I'm going to recommend by starting with a social media graphic. Now this is 800 pixels by 800 pixels. We could have opted to do a basic Instagram post or a Facebook post, but you can see the difference in these and the difference in the dimensions, that they are completely different. However, if you use a social media post, not knowing exactly which platform you're using it for to begin with, whether it was for Facebook or for Instagram, a social media post can be used on either platform and it will fit to the specifications. So we're going to start with a social media post. So you just need to click on the post and it will bring up a blank screen for you. The great thing about this is it will actually bring up some ideas of templates here on the left-hand side of what you could use to begin with, or you could start from scratch. If we were to use a free template, you just click on the template that you like the look of on the left-hand side. For example, we'll go with ice cream recipes. And when you click on it, it brings everything over exactly as you see on the template. From there, you can customize everything within this actual post that it's brought over, from the fonts to the background picture and to the additional graphics that's already on the page. The way that you use Canva is simply drop and drag, like the old school Publisher, if those of you that remember Publisher. So say, for example, we wanted to replace this particular picture of the ice cream. Let's move the square over. Click on the actual background and you'll see that it's highlighted the picture of the ice cream. I can delete that, and I can then look for another picture either from their range of stock photos by clicking over here on the left-hand side. You've got the options of looking just for photos or for illustrations. And when you look for a photo, you can actually look just for free options, because if I was to type into Canva, say I wanted to replace ice cream recipes with cookies, I can go in and type in the word cookies and it will bring up all of these. Now, you'll see highlighted on these, there's a lot of them that say free, and then there'll be some that are $1. So to ensure that you're just looking for free options, you can click down on this arrow here and go free only. This is something that I only found out recently, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm going to look just for photos at this time, so let's just make sure that we've got the free options for the cookies as well. I like the look of this one. So if I drag this across, because the template in the background, you'll see it's got a template of a photo. If I drag this out it will automatically pop the photo that we've selected into the template and fit it accordingly. I can then go in and move my square back across if I like the look of my square. I can also then go in and change my particular fonts and my colours to suit my brand. So say, for example, we're using the Dirty Apron colours. I can go in and double click on ice cream recipes. We can change that to cookie recipes. I can double click on that and change the colour to the Dirty Apron brand, which comes up automatically, and I'm going to show you how to upload your brands in just a couple of moments. But let's just quickly choose this because we know that that's the Dirty Apron colour. I can then go in and choose different fonts. So from here, we've got the document fonts. That relates particularly to the post that has been selected, that you've already selected out of the templates from Canva. Brand fonts. Now, these are ones that have been uploaded by me into my brand section of Canva, which is a paid upgrade, and I'll show you how to use that. And these are my uploaded fonts. This is also part of the upgrade of Canva, and you have the option to upload your own fonts. So when you go further down beyond uploaded fonts, you'll see English fonts. Now, these are the ones that are already as stock standard within Canva, so you can choose from any one of these. But to change my cookie recipes to my brand font, I know that my brand font is Bebas New, so I would change that there to Bebas New. And my other font, double click on that, is not this particular font, but my other font is Avenir Book. So I can go in and change these, knowing that they are my fonts. And I can go in and change the bottom to www.thedirtyapron.com.au. Double click on that. See how it's overlapped at the bottom at the moment? You can either pull the little dots either side and make them wider, or I could have gone in, highlighted it, gone on to the size of the font and reduced it here. So I'm just going to reduce it there to make that easier. And I can go in and center it. Now what will happen is, see the purple lines that have come up? It will tell you whether you have got that centered both vertically and horizontally across the page, which is fantastic. It doesn't have normal grid lines like it does in PowerPoint, but this helps you when you're wanting to center something. Now this is in blue, so we want that in our font colors. I can go in and change that by clicking on color, going into my Dirty Apron color, changing my font into my Dirty Apron color, Dirty Apron font as well. Now, if I wanted to pop in a logo or I wanted to pop in a picture that I already have, that's easy enough to do as well. If you click on the word uploads on the left-hand side, it will allow you to upload your own images, or it will allow you to access logos that you might have previously uploaded as well, which I'll show you in the paid version. So say, for example, we wanted to upload a photo. I can click on upload your own images, and I can go into stock photography, and I can find an image that I already have, for example, this particular one of cookies. Double click on it, and it will slowly upload into my folders. So what I can do is click again on this particular image, and once it's finished uploading, once the green's gone, that's uploaded, I can then use this in the background of my picture. Because now that that's gone over the top of, my OCD kicks in and I want to move all of that down. So to move any of your fonts or your text in your image or anything within the template, once you've clicked on something, you'll see the little line of dots around the outside. You can simply drop and drag and move these anywhere you like throughout your template. And now I'm looking at this and I'm going, that particular font color does not work with this image, so I will change it to that one there. And again, change that one to that one there. So nice and easy, drag and drop, makes it very, very simple to use. If I wanted to now pop a logo in here, I can go over to logos. And these are some of the logos that I've included before. And you'll see at the bottom, I've got the Dirty Apron, and I've got them in both light color and the dark color. but they're all loaded up as PNG files. So they don't have a background in them. So I can double click on a logo and I can reduce the size of it by clicking on the little blue dot in any of the corners, and you'll see that it changes the size of the handles, that you can actually move the logo to a different size and what you like accordingly. So I've just reduced that down to that size there, and I could pop that up in the corner. If, for example, I wanted to add something else into this as far as a different element, you have a lot of different elements that you can choose from. So over on the left-hand side, you'll see another menu bar. You've got layouts, elements, text, background, and uploads. In our elements section, you can add in grids, which are different picture elements. So each one of these are segmented. For example, this one here is 3 different picture elements. You could drop and drag a picture into each one of these and it would automatically center and upload it for you. In frames, this is talking about different frames with pictures as well, and it also gives you the option to give them a really funky layout. You can actually pop them into an iPhone image, or you can have a traditional picture style frame around it, or you can have a cutout kind of image as well. You also then have shapes, and this one I use quite a lot. This will help you being able to pop in your circles and boxes, etc., into your frames. So say, for example, I wanted to have my logo with a circle behind it, just to make it stand out a bit more on this particular image. I can click on my circle. It will automatically come up with my brand colors, but I can change that. If, for example, I don't want these particular colors, I can choose from some of the other colors that I already have under my default palette, or I can add and actually go in here and find them on the color wheel. I'm actually going to change this to one of my brand colors, reduce the size of the circle, put it over onto this side. I can then move my logo and see how it's actually creeping in behind. If I double click on the circle, I can actually arrange that so it actually moves behind the logo. So if I click on the word arrange and go back, it will bring my logo up on the front. I can click on my logo and arrange it within the actual circle, and my guidelines will show me where exactly it's sitting in the circle, so I can make sure that it's centered. So that's a way of using some of your elements. You also have the ability to use lines and insert all different types of lines, whether it's dots, squiggles, you name it. And most of these, and you'll see they're coming up free, say I was to enter in a line here, you can change the color of your line according to what your brand colors are, or you can change to just plain white if you wanted to. So a lot of these that you enter in from the left-hand side of Canva will actually allow you to change the colors. I'm just going to delete that line because we don't need that one. So up on the menu bar on the right-hand side, you have a trash can, and that will delete that particular element that you've got highlighted. In my elements, I also have illustrations. So if you wanted to pop an icon in, it's another way of actually you looking, for example, up here in the menu search bar. You've got icons, charts, you name it. So you can go through and have a look at all these different items. The ones that I use the most are mainly my shapes and my lines. Everything else I do from scratch and I don't use a template. If now I wanted to, say, batch my content, which is kind of funny that I've got cookies up here and I'm saying batch my content. Say this was a quote and this was all a series of cookie recipes. If I click on the double page here, it says copy this page. If I click on that, that will duplicate my cookie recipes. And I could potentially go in here and change the background, remove that one, go in and look for cookies again, and then change my background to that particular cookie. And I could then put in that this is the chocolate cookie recipe. Within Canva, within Canva, you have what I mentioned earlier was the paid option. So you can upgrade your designs, and I think it's $12.95 a month, and it gives you a lot more functionality within Canva. When you have the paid option, you have the option to pop in your brand, which is what I've got here. It allows you to pop in your color palette by clicking on the color and you entering in your color code. In here, because you've got this as your brand kit, you can, like I mentioned earlier, upload your fonts. You also can go in and find templates. So if I click on find templates, it will tell you that it's got 50,000 different templates that you can use. Now, these are all of the templates down here on the left-hand side, and there are thousands of them. So say, for example, you wanted a YouTube thumbnail. If I click on YouTube thumbnail, it's going to show me what templates it already has here within YouTube thumbnails. And I could click on the one that I like the look of. So let's just say this particular one here. And it will let me view the template before I actually select it to use this particular template. So if I click on it, I can now use and edit this particular template. You'll see that it's opened another window up in Canva so that I can work on more than one thing at any one time. I'm going now to go back to our social media posts. And with the upgraded version, I can now change this particular post into a different size so that I don't have to recreate it from scratch. So say, for example, we wanted to change this into a Facebook cover. I can go in with the paid version and click on File. I would then make a copy of this particular design that we've already done. Go up and rename it by clicking on the heading where it says Copy of Cookie Recipes and change the name of it. And back over here on File, I can then change my dimensions. If I click on Change Dimensions, I've got recommended sizes that I can change it to. If I'm just wanting to change this to a Facebook cover, I can click on Facebook cover and it will automatically change my design for me. Because obviously a Facebook cover is very different and it's rectangular as opposed to square, I then would have to go in and just manipulate this particular design to make sure it was exactly what I was after. So you might need to go in and just do a little bit of manipulation of your design to make sure it fits to what you're wanting. But it's a lot easier to do this than have to go from scratch. So I think you get the gist of me doing this. So go back over into all my designs and I'm going to click social media post again, and we're going to do one from scratch so you can see the difference when using a template and using it from scratch. So I can go into my uploads knowing exactly what it is that I'm wanting to create, and I can choose an image that I've uploaded before. You've got the ability for these couple of options as well. You've got filter and flip. So I could flip my photo if I don't like the way that this is actually running on my screen. I can flip it horizontally or I can flip it vertically. Not necessarily in this case, but we can keep it flipped horizontally for the moment. You can go into filter and you can change your picture to any one of these different filters that they have within Canva. And you would have noticed when I sent some of the items out that I then had the picture with my brand colors over the top. The way that I've done that is if you go into grayscale and then click advanced options, you have the ability to add a tint in. So I can go across and find my brand colors and change the filter to my brand colors that way. From here, I can then add some text. So if I click onto the text option, it will bring up, do I want it into a heading, subheading, or just a body of text? And then it also gives you a couple of different text versions that you want as well. Because we're creating these with our brand fonts, I just click on add heading. I can double click on my font and then change that into my brand font. And then go in and change the color if I wanted to as well to my brand font. I can increase the size, which I probably did way too large. But on this one here, this is a good option to be able to show you spacing. So you'll notice because it's popped my sentence onto 2 lines, it's got a big space in between. That's because of the spacing in between the letters. But click on the word spacing. I can actually change my letter spacing with how far apart they are in the sentence. back to 0. And I can also change my line height. So this will change the spacing in between my line height. So I always go 1 because I find that a lot better. So that's a way of you creating a post from scratch. So download today's task in the email, and I will see you at 7 o'clock tonight with all of your questions that you might have in relation to day 4's task, creating graphics with Canva.